Hey, how you guys doing? Michael X. Yeah, so I got a couple of games this week to show. Um, yeah, I'm just getting the stuff set up real quick. So if you guys give me one sec. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with some average games, and then we're gonna go ahead and go up to some tier 10 gameplay. Getting things set up right now. All right. So let me get the World of Tanks thing going. It's gonna flash because I'm trying to get it to register it as being there. Weird. There we go. Okay, so there's nothing super special about this game except for the fact that this tank just, for some reason, nobody really knows how to play it. Um, I think I just have a lot of luck going on here. If you really want to know, but I do know how to light tank. One of my biggest things right now is that my last stream I did, somebody reported it for having they reported it for having like non-friendly stuff, which I know exactly. Well, at least I know the group of people that did it, and I think that they're pieces of shit for doing it because I don't really make a lot of money off of YouTube. I mean, and then just on top of it, somebody falsely reporting me. The thing that's funny though, like a lot of people don't know, is that if you report somebody for bad, for having adult content or some inappropriate content, and they actually, all I have to do is basically look at. All I have to do is basically look at. I just have to report it. I report it as that it is okay content, but all the views that I might have received, they just basically don't credit it. So if I got 30 views, which is like maybe a penny and a half, that gets taken from me, which I think is kind of funny that I leave a clan and I start up with a new clan and then all of a sudden my channel's getting reported. It's almost like you can pretty much just guess what's going on there. But the new clan that I'm in, I've been having some trouble getting used to them. So it's actually called Glad, and a friend of mine was like, if you're not, if you want to play, and I'm like, I'm really kind of burned out with playing skirmishes or even just competitive in general, just because there's so much bullshit. In my opinion, it feels like right now, it feels like it's a dick waving contest, honestly, and I mean that with all clans, and you gotta weed through the liars and cheats and thieves in order to find a good clan. And I gotta say, I haven't been in Glad long enough, but I can say that there's, as far as I can tell, the upper people in there, the ones that I've met, are very, I'd say either insecure or just think that they're all that, or they could just do whatever they want to. Which I did hear some bad stuff about Glad before I joined them, but I do win gold on the weekends if I play. Well, sometimes. But honestly, I'm burned out with myself. I've been burned out with playing competitively, just because, like what I said, there's just a lot of liars and cheats and thieves and people that just have no business. They have no business. They have absolutely no business. You know, being in a leadership role, and you just have there's a lot of that. You got bad leaders, you got people saying things are one way when they're not. You name it, there's so much going on when it comes to clans. It's almost ridiculous. you know, by the time you find a good clan, all it takes is one person to go in there to break the whole thing up. And so for me personally, I've just been like, you know, I'm probably gonna just stop doing competitively here soon. I say that loosely, but yeah. Um, you know, whenever you're in a clan and then you know, say you can't hear people because there's like 19 people talking, and then when you actually try to do something because there's those 19 people talking, and then every single person in there wants to just blame somebody for a loss. You know what I mean? That's what people do. And I'm gonna say, like, when that stuff's going on, it's crazy if you think about it. You know what I mean? So you got people falsely blaming and persecuting, you know, let's say new guys that just joined in, or maybe if you don't hear a call because there's 7 people talking. I've experienced that in Glad just recently, where you know, like I basically did everything I could hear, but nobody, you know, at the end of the game, you know, I had a guy call me retarded and stuff, and then I had a guy send me a message saying I was retarded, and it's funny because they say, oh, you know, what is it? They used to be known as FART, which is friendly and respectful tankers, and I'm gonna say there's nothing respectful about calling somebody retarded. You know, seriously. Even if they mess up or they don't do what you want to, but you just got average players that can just do whatever they want to. Or, oh, not even average. Let's say regular players that can just say whatever they want to. So if you can't hear somebody, if you can't hear their call, or you say, you know, like for instance, I was playing last night and I had my driver get hit and my engine, so I'm just hobbling, and they keep saying 277s on cap. I look over on the cap and there's 3 277s on the cap, and so then the guy calls me retarded for not jumping on the cap. I'm like, you don't need more than 3 people on there. I'm like, I say, oh, my motor's hit, but pretty funny. I think it's funny anyway. I think it's funny when you got a clan like that. I wish I was bigger on YouTube, so I would actually do an exposed. You know, I would do an exposed. So something else that happened to me last night during Clan Wars, which I thought was pretty hilarious, is so there was a guy that was told to me to be toxic, and that they didn't that the clan that I was in at the time didn't want him in there, and so this guy though has taken the liberty to try and harass me, which I think is kind of funny. To try and harass me and tell me that I shouldn't have blocked him, and I go, he actually got into the clan that you know, he got into the clan that I blocked him from getting in with. It wasn't just me, but I blocked him to get into the clan, and so then the guy, I run into him and he acts like it was just me alone that did it, and I'm like, I hate to say it, but when I was in this other clan, that's exactly what I thought. You know, I would expect that from this clan that I was in. I would expect for them to do that, to go, oh no, it wasn't me, it was him. You know, no responsibility there. It's possible, but it's fine, because like I said, what's gonna end up happening for me is I'm just gonna end up I'm gonna stop I'm gonna stop playing competitively. I mean, who needs a clan when you got, you know, enemies like that? It's pretty ridiculous. Okay, so so that game we just played, it was 1300. Let me go to that. I'm just grabbing the file real quick. I thought I had it up. Okay, there. No, that's not it either. What the heck? Anyway, the video or this should be here. So it's 1300, right? 1300. Oh, okay. I think this is it. and so it's actually my second ace tanker in this honestly bad tank. So let me go ahead and hit finish. It should go dark for a sec, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring up desktop. So I believe this is the right game. It said at the end I only did 13, but I don't know if this is actually the right game. 1400 assist. It's okay that it was just a mediocre game. I think this was my ace tanker I showed last week. Yeah, because this is on North America. Yeah, it's the right one. It's the right one. So this is what ended up happening. I ended up assisting in 3000, and it gave me an ace tanker. So that's my second ace tanker. And then, of course, me and Tanks I got 4 kills. He got 5 kills. Yeah. So we got a brothers in arms. I've actually been getting a lot of brothers in arms with him recently. Okay, so let me just pull this up real quick so I can switch the screens. Okay, so we've seen that ace tanker. So now we're going to go ahead and do another ace tanker video. Okay. It should take a sec to recognize it. It will be dark for 1 second. Let's see here. So this is the second ace tanker of this week, which is crazy. So we're talking after the 1.0 update. This might actually be a corrupted. This might have been before the update because it's not actually playing. Yeah, we might not be able to watch that one, which will be fine. Okay, it's not working. Alright, it's just frozen. So that one is out of date, so we can't watch that one. It's okay, I got the 2 more. They're special games to me, but I don't know if they're necessarily special for anybody else, just because most people don't like low tiers. I myself have had a in tier 10s. In tier 10s, my win ratio is literally dropped down. I think I win like 2 games out of 10 if I'm even lucky, which is kind of insane if you think about that. Okay, so me and Tanks are on Lakeville here, as you guys can see. I just need to get rid of the out-of-date game. I think I actually showed the out-of-date game already. So this is a really unexpected game. It's also very good. On top of that, like, I mean, as far as like, I'm gonna say RNG definitely on my side. Yeah, I don't know if you guys comment or not, but what do you guys think about that? Have you ever joined a clan? Are you in a clan? And have you experienced the stuff I'm talking about? It's really pretty horrible watching people fight for power or fight for the right to, you know, tell people what to do, even if they don't know what they're doing. The more dominating personality will always, you know, even if he doesn't know what he's doing or if he's the worst thing for the clan. I've seen it, you know, all the way back to Xbox, you know, and it's pretty crazy. So trying to figure out who knows what and who's you know, who's got what and so on and vice versa, you know, who's trying to do that stuff. It can be super difficult. So so normally I would come, normally I would go city, but nobody wins city, and including Tanks. Tanks wants to, he has the gun depression to play there, but if I play there, I'm just gonna get focused by already. I've tried to play here before, so I just like, I usually just, you know, use this as like a big tank destroyer. To be honest, the accuracy of this is about the same as if you're in like the SU anything. Kind of funny. But yeah, so yeah, you sit there and you watch sneaky snakes take credit for stuff that you've done, you know? I mean, seriously, just absolutely taking credit for stuff that you've done or that others have done, and then they lie and act like it's all them, just to make themselves feel better. And I mean, we're talking about a video game here. Like, I get mad at this game, which a lot of people don't. Like, I feel like, you know, like punching walls and stuff, which I actually have before. I've gotten so angry. I quit for a year and 9 months playing this game because of that. Because I got sick of breaking my own shit. Like, I broke a controller, I broke a monitor, you know, and I'm up to like probably my 7th monitor, which is, you know, the one I have right now has survived only because I basically hung like almost a punching bag up. But I'm gonna get a better punching bag here soon. Yeah, so I get one bad shot there, and then after this, everything's going in. That's all I can tell you. Everything's going to go in and pin. Which is crazy if you think about that. This is probably my best game as far as, I mean, all around everything. I'm not playing this heavy like a heavy, which is not the way you're supposed to play it, but as you can see, the city's getting taken over, but mainly by medium vehicles. So, do you see that right there? I have been getting the oddest bugs. Okay, so that's probably, I think that's my last miss of the game right there. You can see that it just went high, and it hit him like right in the turret, the worst place. So I'm looking behind me, and I can see these guys coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and bail out and try and keep them from coming from both directions, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no comments yet. It's to be expected just because I haven't been uploading consistently. Some of the main reasons why I haven't been uploading is just because of the amount of effort. The amount of effort that it takes to actually get all this together, and the amount of time. Like, I could be playing right now, or I could be doing fun stuff. I'm not exactly getting a ton of views. I think a lot of people, I don't think that they're sick of me necessarily. I just think that, you know, I'm a dying YouTube channel that I'm trying, I mean, that I just, as a hobby, upload stuff here and there every once in a while, just because, you know. So Tanks gets killed here, and I'm thinking this is it. I might as well get as much damage as I can. You know what I mean? Wait, that was a pretty good hit. 375 for an HE shell. The unfortunate part is I know that the Churchill one with heat on the side, you can get, you know, super high rolls. So I'm sitting here going, I'm gonna go ahead and ignore him and try and take out these heavies. Everybody seemed to have done a good job here. I see the 67 getting ready to pop out, but yeah, so if you notice, that was not full aimed in, but he was so close that it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. But so that's like my first snapshot. That one too was just an absolute stalling round. I don't know if you've seen that. So I think at this moment I'm sitting here thinking I'm probably safe. You know, I'm probably safe to do that. So spam and heat and all that, people can say that that's not skill and so on and vice versa, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that there's so many areas that you can bounce and miss, especially when it comes to the other Russian vehicle like this one. Like, I don't know how that pinned. I'm assuming that I hit where he was and it still registered. I don't know how that works, but I let that one aim in. 67's jumping on me, so I'm going to go ahead and go up here. And my first thought when I came down here is that when I try and go back up this hill, I'm probably going to get RD'd or I'm going to get tracked. So I think I should get out of here real quick. I don't know what's up with this KV-1. I mean, he hasn't really even fired at me. So he's actually a problem for me, but I can't get any shots on him, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out here. The 67 is the one that I really want to get, just because he has such DPM, and you can see he's the only one really pinning me. So I just need to get him out of here. So as you can see, we're at 7 kills. You know, he's obviously not a bot. You know, he's not a bot. Now this is kind of funny because I was gonna just switch to HE, but I forgot. I really did. I just forgot. You can see I hit the rock. I think it didn't show us hitting the rock. It just showed us like not hitting him. I think it's kind of messed up that some of these rocks, some of the rocks on in this game. Yeah. Some of the rocks on this game have little invisible barriers, and so you try and shoot them, and those little barriers do stuff. Yeah, you know, I don't know about you guys, but some of the worst things that I've had people do to me in my life were to, 1, blame me for something that I didn't do, 2, try to make me out to be something that I'm not, or speak for me. And I think that those are really, honestly, in my opinion, they're the worst things you can possibly do to another human being is to falsely persecute him. I think that's why, you know, false persecutions is in the 10 Commandments. I mean, they could recognize how devastating that was back then. False persecution, you know, bearing false witness. And when you do that stuff, it's like stealing, I believe. You know, especially if the person doesn't know that you were talking crap about them behind their back. I try not to stir the pot or assume anything about anybody. I really do. I try to just let things go the way that they should go. If you guys look up here, you guys can see that my my W&8 for this game is 12,841. It would suck to get one-shotted by Artie. I really am thinking he's still sitting back, but I was getting hit. I was getting hit in the spawn, but I didn't bother to look at the direction. So he's gonna appear in an area where, honestly, if you guys look at this shot, it's a straight snapshot. Straight snapshot. It was funny, I was actually telling Tanks, that, you know, that was, that I wasn't gonna snapshot. I was gonna wait till I was fully aimed in, and I definitely got detected. But anyway, so let's go ahead and turn this on. So this is the game. So we got our second ace tanker. We got, as you can see, we did a one shot for 2 something, 100, 2 something, 2 something, 247, 320, 375, 340, 2 shots for 587, 1 shot for 57, and 222. That's actually going to go ahead and say that's the lowest. Now I did want to go ahead and say that I did end up losing 20,000 credits. I can guarantee if I was using HE, it would have required a lot more shots. So, I don't know. Is it a win? I think it's a win. But did I pay to win it? Definitely. Definitely paid to win. You can see that the team wasn't incompetent. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to say that the T1 Heavy that Tank's driving is not fully upgraded. So what are you supposed to do with that? I have to sneeze, so let me mute my microphone real quick. Damn. Sneeze like crazy. Alright, so saving the best for last. Let me just go ahead and bring up the bat chat. So this is the game right here. This is going to be the game that I just had yesterday, and I really haven't had the best of luck in the bat chat. And it's one of my favorite tanks, and you know, I kind of still have it set up the way that it used to, and you know, sometimes you just hit, you know, it just hits. And I'm gonna say that I had some really bad games, seriously, in it prior to this. And like I was telling you, on average, for me, on average, I with tier 10s, um, and I'm gonna say just average, on average with tier 10s, I am almost always in a losing game, even if it's, you know, even if I do 5,000. I don't know why. I believe at tier 10 that the mismatch of teams is so bad that I literally am winning 2 battles out of 10 in tier 10s. Now we could go ahead and say that that's me, and maybe it's because I'm not as experienced as I probably should be with this. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to set this up here. No comments yet. So yeah, I don't know why the win rate's so bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that you guys can see that how fast my turret is moving. I am using a specific setup with this that makes this tank a lot more accurate, especially on the move. So I'm using a kind of secret setup. I mean, I'm sure if you guys know anything about the new update, you guys probably could figure out what I'm using here to make this tank a little bit better. It does come at the sacrifice of a couple of things, actually, but I was so upset with this. Did you see that? The guy grazed me, well, fully aimed in, and my shots bounced. And unfortunately, whether you go to when this tank was buffed or all the way to console, for some reason it bounces. And look at this guy. If I wouldn't have pulled forward, I would have been dead. Seriously, he probably would have one-shot me. I'm actually thinking at this point that this is going to be a nightmare of a game. I'm like, this is going to suck. But I have a bunch of tier 10 games that I recently have been doing, trying, getting a little better. You guys can see the maneuverability of the tank is a lot better. So I found like maybe the best combination for the bat chat. It still doesn't quite perform like the Barask, which kind of upsets me. It doesn't perform like the Barask, which is what, I mean, isn't the Barask supposed to emulate that kind of, Isn't it supposed to emulate that kind of? So, this having the lowest pin, as far as I know, for medium tanks, it has the lowest pin. You guys might not know it, but I was actually trying to track that guy for a good reason. So I don't carry very many. I carry basically 3 clips of both. Now the heat doesn't have that much velocity. Can I? Oh, there we go. So the heat shell only has 800, and then the standard shell is almost 15, which it's still got that auto lock zipping power when you're using standard, but not when you're using heat. I seen that it was completely red, and I was like, I actually said here, I was like, of course the leopard would have shots on me. So something I noticed about the bat chat, in my opinion, that I think is kind of stupid, is that it's one of the smaller medium tanks in the game. It has 0 armor, has an autoloader. They've nerfed the pin of it, which makes no sense to me. Yeah, and then they've also nerfed so much on it. Ground resistance, turret traverse, you name it. They have broken this tank to the point where they don't want to see it in another tournament ever again, as far as I can tell. It doesn't make any sense to me neither that that's what they would go for. So I figured I would come over here to support here just because I was getting my ass kicked on the other side. And so I just want you guys to look at the fact that I have full camouflage. Full camouflage on here. I have brothers in arms. I have food running on here. And my camouflage rating should be pretty good. Even when firing, I should be able to fire from this distance without getting spotted. It's just kind of crazy. So I'm actually spotted, and I'm bouncing heat shells off the side of an E4. So I literally just missed 2 shells out of 5. They were kind of rushed, but anyway. I don't even know how that one hit. I'll tell you, on my screen, I remember that he was out in the open when I fired that last shell, and I was like, yeah, it hit right where it should have, and in reality, it hit where he wasn't. So I recently turned server reticle off. So if you guys are using server reticle and you have a bad connection, don't use it. Seriously, if you have a really good connection, you should definitely use server reticle. And I don't actually understand that. Like, server reticle is supposed to help people that are lagging, but it's so buggy and so glitchy, you know? So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that a new piece of equipment is enabling me to actually land those shots. I'll just tell you though that anywhere beyond 400 meters, the accuracy of this tank, it just really is terrible. It's so bad. But there's going to be some really good stuff here. I mean, considering this is 6.9, we're going to actually pull this out. You know? Don't want to ruin the ending, but we're going to pull this out. So if you guys look with the bat chat, I zoom in really far so I don't get distracted with their stuff, which does happen. I'm actually not sure how that stuff's pinning. I don't know how that pinned. Seriously. So I noticed at this point that I have 3 heats, and I'm actually kind of upset because probably should have, even if I fired prim across the standard across it, I probably would have bounced half my shells, which kind of sucks. Seriously. So I'm actually playing this just like I would back in the old day. Now, if a Sheridan can't see me through this bush, how am I getting spotted out in the open? You know what I mean? I can see he has the derp gun. So I'm gonna go ahead and not shoot him. I actually thought I got a couple shots on that Sheridan, but artillery hit him, which I guess is good. So with standard shells, I can't pin the IS-7. I couldn't hope to pin him actually. I also can't pin the version 4. I decided to say thanks to that guy. Because there's nothing I can do to a IS-7. Even sideways it bounces most shots. Now look at the range at which I'm firing. You guys can see that there is something, you know, like I said, I have a setup for this that is actually what we've needed this for a long time, you know? But I got all 5 on him. And you can see that I got enough maneuverability, thanks to some perks I recently got. Which I gotta say that this having a three-person crew, it shouldn't take as long to rank up the crew, because you can rank up a crew of 5 and get 20. Is it 250,000 per crew? But I can only do 3 guys with that, so it requires almost double the amount of books to get the same amount of perks. I think that's something they need to take a look at, including like the IS-3A. And the other tanks like that, because when they're missing that, I mean, you should get you should get more than 250, you should get the equivalent in perks. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you should get the equivalent in perks. So, I'm using this new mod from, it's the same one that's showing me how much I need to get a Mark of Excellence on this tank. I can't remember the name of it, but... So I only have 3 shells. It's an E4, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, I've tried using standard on the E4, and if you're driving really fast and trying to outrun that gun, the only way you're getting standard to pin is if you shoot him directly in the butt, which can even bounce then if he angles right. So having heat on here is pretty much essential for me. I've had too many games that I've lost by not using the premium, and to just guarantee that I'm going to actually do the right thing. So to kind of bring something up that I think is kind of messed up is that you get a real bad penalty for being an autoloader, and I know in real life you could put, like, I should be able to load those rounds any way I want to. If that makes any sense. Like, you should be able to fire 1 HE and so on. I mean, you could do that in real life. It's not like it had to be. Hey, what's up, Miss Ray? Long time no see ya. I haven't seen any new videos coming out for you. I have I've gotten into light tanking pretty heavily. This is hilarious if you guys watch this. Just look at this. Might as well throw another 15,000 silver away for that game. I actually knew that was going to be a bad game as far as silver went, but hey, pay to win, free to lose. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. That's how it is. Okay, so that is going to be my last one, but we are going to take a look at that victory. Okay, so it's not an ace tanker. Got a Pascucci. We got Bruiser, Fighter, Fire for Effect, Mastery 1. Not my best game in this by far, but you know, 54, 18. Considering I haven't played tier 10s in over like 3 months, I thought it was a pretty good game. I mean, with the Barask. I didn't look at the time. Sorry, I said Barask. I meant the bat chat. So 27, 22, and 16. So I really actually hit a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and say thanks to the new equipment, I actually probably would have missed. I probably would have only gotten 10 pins in that game, unless I was right up on them. I mean, the only thing I could say that would have happened for sure was, honestly, the leopard. When I was fighting the leopard, where is he on here? When I was fighting that leopard, I literally had to use every single shell to kill him. And I don't know if you guys seen how much, but I was only doing like 320, 300. Then I did like a almost 400 shell, but nothing above, which kind of sucks. And of course he has a 440 alpha here on the PC, which is crazy. Alright, so let me pop this up. I got some more comments. So Miss Ray Sunshine says, nothing, I've posted in a few new ones on my YouTube. I got a few more games coming out as well. Still first class isn't bad. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. It's not, like I said, I'm trying not to show games that are mediocre. And I'm trying to get some really high games, but tomorrow Steel Hunter comes out, so I'm probably going to be just playing that. Yeah. So I don't believe I have any more games for you guys right now. But I'll try and get something out. Try and keep getting stuff out this week. So yeah, Miss Ray. So I was in a clan. I left the clan, and then I had all of a sudden one of my videos got reported for being, I mean, and I haven't had any activity for a long time. One of my videos got reported as being not appropriate. So I sent it in, they reviewed it, and then they gave it monetization. And so, you know, it would take a good 4 or 5 people to get YouTube to do that. And the shitty part about it is that when that happens, the couple of cents I would have made from my video, you know, just as another kick to the balls, which just lets me know where my friends are, if you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, I tried to stay friends with people when I leave a clan, you know, especially if things aren't working out. But since I've left some clans, I just have not felt like playing competitive recently. I've played a couple of times, and I'm just not into it, you know. But I think it's pretty funny that within that same month of leaving, the first time I upload since I was not in the clan, that my video got reported as being that. Of course they monetized it, but any views that I would have gotten for it just disappear. You know what I mean? Because they don't give you, if you're not demonetized, if you're not demonetized, it's pretty much the truth. If you're not monetized, um, any view you get during your not monetization period, which they can wait up to 7 days. So if I got like 100,000 views, I actually would not get credit for that if enough people reported it, which is kind of stupid. It would be different if I actually was known for having, yeah, what's not appropriate. Well, that's the whole thing. You can lie about it. You can just go and report anybody's YouTube video. It's one of the things that's wrong with YouTube. It's one of the reasons why I stopped uploading videos. I had a Minecraft video recently that did 2,500, and because somebody doesn't like me, or maybe they don't want me uploading Minecraft stuff, who knows why, falsely reported me, and then I didn't get monetization for it, which in all reality probably cost me about $20 because the video got enough views to where I could have made a little bit more money. A lot of people don't know this, but YouTube will only pay you if you make over $100. So I have to wait like a year and a half sometimes. Recently, back in the day though, I was getting that. I was getting that once a month. It was like a little bit of spare change I was getting, and then. But anyway, long story short, um, trying to get this up. You know, trying to get this stream up and trying to do something consistently has been very difficult. And then you got that on top of it, just straight haters, just jealous, bitter haters, you know. And I just it's pretty funny, I try not to let it bug me, but I mean that's gonna bug anybody because that person is, you know. It happened to me when I was doing World of Tanks videos. I would say on the top 10 lists of why I stopped doing World of Tanks videos on console is because one, I was constantly getting harassed by some of the top players in the game. I was also getting harassed by some YouTubers, and I just got sick of it. I was like, I'm just here to have fun, That's it. I'm just here to have fun. I just realized I spelled tier wrong on here. It doesn't matter. People should know by now that I can't spell worth a damn. uh, but yeah, it is stupid. It's one of those things. It's like so. Let me get straight. I'm on your platform, YouTube, and you guys have no protection for me. If somebody reports that I did an inappropriate video, instead of just taking action and just manually looking at it, if I had strikes against me for showing inappropriate content, I could understand them demonetizing me for a short period. But having to wait 7 days, and then by the time that's done, the little teeny bit of money I would have gotten, it's like, why did I go through the hurdle of that? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going on YouTube right now. And I'm going to tell you right now that the way that it's looking to me, I think a lot of big YouTubers are going to jump ship here soon. I mean, there's no reason to stay on a platform that's, one, taking money from you. They say it's for the name of ads, but in reality, why would they allow what just happened to happen? It's completely unfair. If I did that to them, like if you look at what they're basically making the same complaint that everybody on YouTube's been making. Like, why? It's like, oh, you don't have enough people. You don't have enough people to look at somebody's history, and it's like, I don't have any videos that are inappropriate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting there saying racist or horrible things like that. I'm literally talking about playing video games most of the time. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, yeah, that's exactly it. If they review the video, whoever reported it for that, they do get a ding on them. They don't know it, but they get a ding on them. What ends up happening is they end up, every time they report, it just basically shows up as spam. I have some spam comments that don't even show what they said, and then I looked it up, and I guess those people, that did the reporting, when it gets that, if they do it more than once, it does show up, but it doesn't prevent them from being able to bring down other people's channels. And I think that that's kind of like I said, it's stealing money from me just because what, they don't like me. They just want to be an asshole. They want to troll me. They don't want me doing YouTube. Which one is it? It's like that kind of stuff is what's wrong with YouTube. It's what's wrong with the world, and there's way more to it. It's kind of like this. I said this a long time ago, and I mean, it really is the truth when it comes to World of Tanks. Is that World of Tanks? Don't stop and keep your chin up. €5 from worth watching one. Well, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. That definitely makes up for it. I mean, any money I would have lost. But that's not what I really wanted people to do. I'm just telling you guys how it is. When you play World of Tanks, RNG foils me so much. I miss so many rounds from RNG. And with the new equipment, you could kind of make RNG a little bit better, but there's nothing that says you're going to make that. And for me personally, when I need to make a shot, that's when it misses. It's very rare for me to hit a shot when I actually need to. So, ATS, okay, no problem. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So instead of going, hey, maybe the RNG is a little high up, it's a little high up there. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten any strikes, thank God. Yeah, I haven't gotten any either. That's what gets me. It's like it's not like I've done, marketed children. It's not like I've gotten, did something with Cap. I've made it pretty clear that I am not, I am not a channel like that. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. But we had to continue going. So the community jokingly will say stuff like "get good," and the reason why you miss those shots is because you got to make your shots pin. Yeah, it's like you can't make a shot pin if one RNG is there and you also have a bad connection, which right now at this very time I actually have the best connection I've had since the pandemic started, so I really can't complain. So that's been pretty good. But I did want to let you know, let's see, is it called Worth Watching? Worth Watching, just to let you know, if you ever donate to a channel, and I'm only saying this because just one reason, they take 95% of whatever you give me. YouTube does. I am not kidding you. They're going to give me maybe 90 cents of that $5. If you go on there and go to my Patreon and do 1 month of Patreon, which is $5, I actually would get 90% of it. So I do have my Patreon somewhere. It's supposed to be on this channel. Let me actually go and relink it for you guys, because it should have been there. Let me go ahead and do it. And I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm not into giving, them all that money. You know what I mean? I'm really not into giving them, 95%. They're worse than when they used to have what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. They're called, let me see here. Give me one sec. Yeah, I actually, that's why a lot of people use Patreon over the YouTube stuff, because, I mean, like, that's a lot of money. I mean, seriously, 90%. I could show you guys it, but I'd probably get in trouble because you're not supposed to. But I just linked my Patreon in there. Damn, thought it was 30%. It depends on where you are. So if you're like a big YouTuber, they obviously give you more. Do you know what I mean? They give you more. But if you're like me, where you're kind of like not really bringing in a lot of revenue, they just screw you. I mean, who's gonna listen to me? You know what I mean? Who's gonna go? Oh, this guy's channel was directly closed down, and he stopped doing videos because at any moment somebody could basically make it so I don't get any money for a video, even if it's one of my best videos. And I have to then stick it for a manual review. Once it gets manually reviewed, it would be good if I could basically make a video, ask for it to be manually reviewed before I even put it up. You know what I mean? But if you're live streaming, it doesn't work that way. But I'm going to YouTube right now, and I want to look to see, because I've gotten somebody donated like $24 to me once, and I believe I got like, I think it was actually more than that. I think it was almost 60. Let me find it here. Should be under my Analytics. So yeah, I think you are right. I think it is 30%. You see reach, engagement, audience, revenue. So it says here that it says payback based CPM for today's video. Actually, no, this is for the 19th of July all the way to the 15th. It doesn't even count today. Yeah, so it says back in March I earned. Where is today's? Like, who wants to see? I want to see today's current. Yeah, it says 14th to the 15th data is being processed of August. So I'm assuming that it's not showing yet. Yeah. Yeah, it says that, yeah, the video that I have up right now isn't even being credited because it hasn't finished. It's still being made, so I can't even see it, but yeah, very weird. Yeah, just to tell you guys, like some of my best videos I've gotten recently, it made 24 cents, you know? So which is not a lot. You know what I mean? It's really not a lot. August 14th was the last time they updated this, so I can't even show you guys what's currently going on, but it's okay. I did link my Patreon if you're ever interested. I have a tier system. You know, it doesn't really. I mean, like I said, I get more money if you go through Patreon, but it doesn't matter. You know, whatever. Let me get caught up on the chat. Let's see. Um, let's see. Yeah, but the join feature is good. Good, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I can set up a whole thing where you could see my movies or my movies. You can see my videos earlier and all that. It's just such a lot of work for something, and then I have to upload the video and then basically withhold it, and, you know, just so I can make money off of it. And I kind of miss the old days when I could just upload a video, um, and I was pretty much trusted to do, you know, like I've had people do that to my Minecraft videos, which is like literally in the title says Minecraft, and I've had people get me, you know, make it so I lose my first 2 days or even 3 days of views. And so the only thing you can do is put it up there and ask for a review before you even upload it, which they don't do unless you're a big YouTuber. I gotta go play some tanks, but PM me on Discord, Michael. All right, Miss Ray. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching. Worth watching. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.